Experience the difference with Luntha Vision, where innovation meets experience. Our dedicated team, backed by cutting-edge technology, ensures seamless execution and unparalleled results. Luntha guarantees credibility and professionalism in all its endeavors.
Pope Leo XIV warns no doctor should ever decide the life of an embryo. Lilongwe City Council intensifies crackdown on infrastructure vandalism after loss of 600 streetlights. Mental health expert warns against stigma as xenophobia victims return home. In international news, South Sudan's long-delayed elections face fresh uncertainty.
The Pope praised the Jeremy Region Foundation for its commitment to promoting human dignity and supporting scientific research aimed at helping people with genetic intellectual disabilities. Pope Leo told foundation members to express their encouragement for their commitment in favor of life and human dignity. Pope Leo XIV also paid tribute to Region's lifelong dedication to children with disabilities, describing him as a scientist who combined academic excellence with deep compassion for his patients. The pontiff said, with a move by the difficult situation of children with disabilities, Professor Region devoted his life to them as a scientific researcher. The Holy Father recorded that although Region's discovery brought him international recognition, he later opposed the use of genetic testing to identify and abort unborn children with Down syndrome. Region publicly condemned the practice, referring to it as chromosomal racism. Quoting one of the scientist's most famous sayings, Pope Leo XIV noted medicine is the hatred of disease and the love of the patient. The Pope further warned that scientific and technological advances must always be guided by ethical principles and respect for human dignity. Pope Leo also said that the value of the human person does not depend on what he or she accomplishes or produces. Concluding his remarks, Pope Leo XIV thanked the Foundation's members, families, researchers, and individuals living with Down syndrome for their contributions to society. He encouraged them to continue promoting a culture of life, solidarity, and the common good before imparting his apostolic blessing. The Pope praised the Jeremy Region Foundation for its commitment to promoting human dignity and supporting scientific research aimed at helping people with
Pope Leo XIV warns no doctor should ever decide the life of an embryo. Lilongwe City Council intensifies crackdown on infrastructure vandalism after loss of 600 streetlights. Mental health expert warns against stigma as xenophobia victims return home. In international news, South Sudan's long-delayed elections face fresh uncertainty.
Along the scenic M14 road from Salima town towards Chipoka, approximately 30 kilometers away, lies one of the most beautiful and peaceful destinations along the shores of Lake Malawi. Chitsulo Lodge, named after Bishop Chitsulo, the first bishop of the Catholic Diocese of Dedza. This magnificent lakeside lodge offers comfort, relaxation, hospitality, and tranquility away from the busy noise of everyday life. From the very moment guests arrive, the cool lake breeze, peaceful environment, and warm smiles from the staff immediately create a feeling of being truly at home.
Chitsulo Lodge and Conference Center offers guests a unique combination of peace, comfort, hospitality, and natural beauty. Apart from our accommodation and conference services, the calm environment along Lake Malawi gives people an opportunity to truly relax and refresh themselves. We welcome families, tourist organizations, and all visitors to come and experience the beautiful place for themselves.
The lodge offers magnificent self-contained rooms equipped with comfortable beddings, elegant shower compartments, flushing toilets, air conditioners, and modern facilities designed to give guests maximum comfort. Guests also enjoy delicious meals, professionally prepared and served in a spacious and beautifully arranged restaurant. Ideal for conferences, retreats, seminars, family holidays, and spiritual reflections, Chitsulo Lodge creates unforgettable lakeside moments that refresh both body and soul.
I stand to encourage priests, religious sisters and brothers, families, and individual Christians, as well as different apostolates in the church, not forgetting Christians from other Christian denominations to come and patronize us at Chitsulo Lodge and Conference Center.
Chitsulo Lodge, for relaxation, for comfort, for spiritual renewal, for unforgettable moments along Lake Malawi. Your destination is Chitsulo Lodge. Chitsulo Lodge, a heaven along the lake.
Luntha Television stands as an autonomous faith-based broadcaster with a national and international reach. Experience the difference with Luntha Television, where innovation meets experience. Our dedicated team, backed by cutting-edge technology, ensures seamless execution and unparalleled results. Luntha guarantees credibility and professionalism in all its endeavors and services. We offer, among this, production and broadcasting of jingles, music videos, narratives, documentaries, press services and programs on location or outside, live broadcasting of mass and other church functions, government or NGO functions, and political rallies, creation and broadcasting of special programs, sponsored content, sports and entertainment, and advertising for small, medium, and large enterprises. All services are offered at competitive prices. Tune in daily to catch Luntha Television on Zuko on Channel 51, Starsat Channel 474, Star Times Channel 474, Topstar 474, Tuliyekilie 007, GoTV on Channel 807, Azam on Channel 386, and live streams on our YouTube and Facebook platforms. You can find us in Area 2 Lilongwe or can reach us on 0883 815 055. Come, let us help you grow your business.
achipani cha Montfort Missionaries kuno ku Malawi akuyitana Khristu ndi anthu onse kumwambo okondwerera kuti chipanichi chatha zaka 125. Inde tikuti zaka 125 chifikira na asembe a Montfort Missionaries kuno ku Malawi. Tsiku ndipo 1 August 2026. Malo ndi Balaka Parish, nthawi ndi 9 o'clock mmawa. Ndipo pasikuli kuli zikondwerero izi mwambozo za Brother Felix Nimanya omwe akutumikira ku Balaka Parish kukhala deacon, Father Louis Nkukumira kuti akwanitsa zaka 25 za unsembe, ndi Father Felix Piri kuti akwanitsa zaka 25 za moyo wawo wa chipani, ndinso kukondwera zaka 25 za kukhazikisidwa kwa delegation ya ansembe a Montfort Missionaries ya African Anglophone General Delegation yomwe idayamba mu chaka cha 2001. Tiyeni tonse tikapezeke kumwambowu.
Luntha Television stands as an autonomous faith-based broadcaster with a national and international reach. Experience the difference with Luntha Television, where innovation meets experience. Auto-educated team backed by cutting-edge technology ensures seamless execution and unparalleled results. Luntha guarantees credibility and professionalism in all its endeavors and services. We offer, among this, production and broadcasting of jingles, music videos, narratives, documentaries, press services and programs, on location or outside, live broadcasting of mass and other church functions, government or indoor functions, and political rallies, creation and broadcasting of special programs, sponsored content, sports and entertainment, and advertising for small, medium and large enterprises. All services are offered at competitive prices. Tune in daily to catch Luntha Television on Zuko on Channel 51, Starsat Channel 474,
Malawi Defense Force Commander General Alexander Joe Jaffo has called for increased government funding for the military, telling the ad hoc parliamentary committee investigating the military plane crash that Malawi Defense Force aircraft do not have black boxes, but instead use of an emergency locator transmitter to help locate aircraft during emergencies. Speaking during the committee hearings on Tuesday in Lilongwe, Jaffo disclosed that although the aircraft involved in the crash had an alternative installed, the device was not operational as its batteries had been dead since 2004. Agricultural authorities and waste advisors have emphasized the need for farmers to embrace proper nutrition and conservation agriculture practices as a way of improving household health, increasing food production, and reducing malnutrition in communities. Waste advisor Levison Saidi and Agriculture Development Officer for Lilongwe ADD Simangaliso Mvula Kachule made the remarks following ongoing efforts to equip farmers with knowledge on food preparation, the 6 food groups, and conservation of agriculture technology. More in our report, followed by Judith Ogan.
Speaking in an interview, Saidi said the program, which started in 2022, has reached over 500 farmers in Lilongwe and is helping communities make better use of their harvest by preparing nutritious meals. He said the initiative is expected to reduce cases of malnutrition as farmers apply the knowledge in their homes.
As West Advisors, we are here training farmers on diet diversification and food nutrition. So the farmers that you are seeing here are being trained in.
On his part, Kachul said the project has transformed the lives of many farmers through improved knowledge on nutrition, compost manure production, and sustainable farming methods, leading to better harvests and healthier communities.
It's very important because as much as we would want the project to still reach more farmers, it is important that at least with the numbers that they have reached, it has changed the lives of our farmers.
The initiative continues to strengthen farmers' capacity with practical skills aimed at ensuring improved food security, better nutrition, and sustainable agricultural development. For Luntha News in Lilongwe, this is Judith Ogan.
Lilongwe City Council says it has intensified efforts to curb vandalism of public infrastructure in the city, following the theft and destruction of more than 600 solar and conventional street lights. Lilongwe City Council Chief Executive Officer Clement Stamburi made the remarks while confirming that the council has lost about 600 solar panels and conventional street lights due to vandalism and theft across Lilongwe City. More in our report, followed by Gift Kalonga.
Stambuli said the council has put in place a number of measures to protect public infrastructure, including deploying security personnel along major roads and working closely with the police to track down those involved in vandalism. He further said the council is offering a reward of 500,000 kwacha to individuals who provide credible information leading to the recovery of stolen property and the arrest of suspects. Stamburi assured the public that all informants will remain anonymous and encouraged residents to report any acts of vandalism to the Office of Chief Executive Officer of Lilongwe City.
Yes, indeed. It is a very serious issue that we have lost about 600 solar and conventional lights along our streets in Lilongwe. And the council is working hard to ensure that this does not continue. Mitigation measures have been taken.
Social commentator Caesar Kondowe described the vandalism of street lights and other public infrastructure as unfortunate and detrimental to the country's development, saying such acts undermine efforts aimed at improving public services. Kondowe urged Malawians to take responsibility for protecting public property by reporting suspected vandals to relevant authorities so that they can be brought to justice and deter others from engaging similar.
It's very unfortunate that as we are celebrating that we have the donation, we have the road, street lights, all being connected in Lilongwe. Yet there are certain group of people who feel like they can vandalize, steal the solar panels and everything in order.
Meanwhile, the council has intensified security measures by working closely with the Malawi Police Service to curb vandalism and protect public infrastructure across the city. For Luntha TV in Lilongwe, this is Gift Kalonga.
Malawians have been urged to support fellow citizens returning from South Africa following a recent xenophobic attacks, warning that negative remarks and social media criticism could worsen their emotional and psychological well-being. Mental health expert Herbert Chawinga made the appeal amid growing discussions on social media, where some users have been criticizing Malawians affected by the attacks. Emmanuel Chocha with the details.
Speaking in an interview with Luntha television, Chawinga said Malawi is known as the warm heart of Africa and should uphold its values of love, humility, and compassion by welcoming those returning home with dignity and care. He noted that many victims have lost properties, livelihoods, and, in some cases, loved ones, making them vulnerable to mental health challenges. Chawinga emphasized that returning citizens needs emotional support and understanding from their families, communities, and the nation at large as they rebuild their lives.
I feel the best thing we can do really, first of all, is really to understand. We have to look at the world through these people's eyes, walk in their feet. These people are grieving. It's like somebody has lost their own relative. It's like somebody that have lost something so precious. A livelihood lost. They were there in AC in South Africa, doing a lot of businesses. People have lost, their businesses. People have lost their source of income, their livelihood. Some of them have worked for several years, 20 years, 30 years. But then they are coming back home with almost nothing.
Meanwhile, prominent business figures, including Tomu Mpinganjila, Shepard Bushili, and Wisely Pili, among others, have contributed financial support to help facilitate transportation for Malawians returning from South Africa. At the same time, the Department of Disaster Management Affairs, DODMA, says the number of Malawians seeking assistance to return home has increased from 10,000 to 15,000. For Luntha News in Lilongwe, this is Emmanuel Chuocha.
Health expert Maziko Matemba has said the introduction of beach fees for students undertaking practical attachments at Queen Elizabeth Central Hospital highlights the urgent need for Malawi to establish a dedicated teaching hospital as growing students' numbers continue to put pressure on service delivery. Speaking in an interview with Luntha television while reacting to Queen Elizabeth Central Hospital's decision to introduce beach fees, Matemba said the hospital was originally established to provide specialized tertiary health care services and not as a teaching hospital, urging that the increasing numbers of students from both public and private training institutions is stretching resources and affecting operations. Kostas Kamtemeni reports.
The growing number of public and private institutions training health professionals has led to increase in students seeking practical placements at Queen Elizabeth Central Hospital, a development he said is placing additional pressure on space, supervision, and other hospital resources despite the importance of hands-on training. He further said the planned construction of a teaching hospital would help ease pressure on Queen Elizabeth Central Hospital by providing a dedicated facility for clinical training, allowing the hospital to focus more effectively on delivering specialized healthcare services to patients.
For us, I think he is also looking at two sides of the issue. One, as you know, that Queen Elizabeth Central Hospital, it was not built as a teaching hospital. That's why maybe we have heard and seen that recently the Kamuzu University of Health Sciences, that's Courses, they were discussing with the Ministry of Education to construct the teaching hospital so that all the students who want to learn about practice, physical practice of their profession should do at the teaching hospital.
Meanwhile, Queen Elizabeth Central Hospital says the decision to introduce bench fees follows a significant increase in the number of students undertaking practical attachments and cancer registration placements at the hospital, a development it says is putting pressure on resources such as protective equipment and utilities. Under the new arrangement, training institutions sending students for practical placements will be required to provide essential resources for their learners, while students will also pay bench fees for their attachments. Diploma students will pay 2,000 kwacha per week, with fees increasing according to the program level, while international elective students and health professionals seeking medical council registration will be charged $520 per week. For Luntha News, this is Constance Kamtemin.
Civil society organizations in Karonga have intensified calls for the urgent rehabilitation of the Chiweta-Karonga stretch of M1 Road, barely days after the Chiefs Council in Karonga issued a similar demand. The concerns were raised during a stakeholders briefing held at Karonga Museum and organized by civil society actors and the Karonga Civil Society Organizations Network with support from NCA and DCA. We have more in this report by Adams Mwenelupembe.
Speaking during a briefing, NCA-DCA Fighting Inequalities Project Coordinator Lusunku Mwenda Mangochi said stakeholders have developed an advocacy strategy aimed at pushing the government to expedite rehabilitation works on the road. She said the advocacy campaign will focus on constructive engagement and dialogue with authorities rather than demonstrations or shutdowns. According to Mangochi, stakeholders have invited the Minister of Transport and Roads Authority officials to a dialogue meeting scheduled for 9th of July 2026 to discuss progress on the rehabilitation project.
We are very, very keen on making sure that our advocacy efforts really work and become fruitful. We will not derail, we will not lose focus, we will not get short-changed in this process, because what we want at the end of the day is a process that bears fruit, that we have at the end of the day a road that is worthy what this road actually brings to the nation of Malawi. So for those that are calling for demonstrations or complete shutdown, that's not us. That's not part of what we are saying and calling for. For us, we are calling for dialogue. On the 9th of July, we've called for the duty bearers to come here, the Minister of Roads and whatnot, and we've also called even the agencies, the government agencies responsible for roads and their development to come so that we can have this dialogue with them. We know the government has already put in place different mechanisms to make sure that the roadworks begin, but we will not stop until the last mile of the road is done.
Meanwhile, Karonga Concerned Citizens Organization Chief Executive Officer Wakisa Kavaliro Makairemo has rejected calls for a planned 1st July shutdown demonstrations planned by the HRDC over the road, saying communities support peaceful engagement with relevant authorities. Makairemo said concerned citizens remain committed to working with government and other stakeholders until rehabilitation works commence.
Really ashamed and very, very unfortunate to hear HRDC that they are coming because of our consent. So we are really ashamed. As we concerned citizens, we will not allow that. And if they hear us for the 1st July shutdown, they should reverse this issue. They should go and sit down there saying that the whole community of Karonga will not allow this.
The campaign has brought together civil society networks, traders, transport operators, youth groups, women, persons with disabilities, cross-border traders and faith leaders from Karonga, Rompi and Chitipa. The Chiweta-Karonga stretch is one of the Malawi's key transport corridors, linking the northern region to the rest of the country and facilitating trade with neighboring countries. Reporting for Luntha Television in Karonga, this is Adams Mwenelupembe.
And finally, in international news, there have been several false starts when it comes to election in South Sudan, but authorities have announced that the country's long-delayed first-ever general elections is now scheduled for December this year. The leaders of the world's youngest nation have never been tested at the ballot box since independence in 2011, with President Salva Kiir remaining in power for the past 15 years. Under the original plan, general elections were expected to take place in 2015. However, the outbreak of civil war forced the process to be postponed. We have a BBC News report read by Charida Chiranga.
The 2018 peace agreement, which established a unity government led by President Kiir and his rival Riek Machar as first vice president, envisioned elections in 2022. However, the vote was never conducted due to ongoing political tensions between the country's leaders. Persistent disagreements between the two men continue to cast doubt over whether the elections will proceed as planned. Machar was then moved from his position as vice president and arrested last year. He faces charges of murder, treason, and crimes against humanity, allegations he strongly denies. Since March last year, he has remained under house arrest in the capital Juba, while crashes continue in parts of the country. The situation has prompted warnings from several stakeholders, including the United Nations, that the violence could escalate into another full-scale civil war. While announcing 22 December as the proposed election date, Electoral Commission Chairperson Abnego Ako acknowledged that unresolved legal reforms and persistent funding shortages continue to hinder preparations for the polls. In a statement issued on Monday, the presidency said President Kiir remains committed to implementing the 2018 peace agreement and ensuring that South Sudan stays on course toward peaceful and democratic elections. The statement added that preparations for inter-party dialogue on election-related matters were progressing and would offer a platform for political stakeholders to build consensus. However, opposition parties and civil society organizations have expressed concerns about security conditions, political freedoms, and the country's overall readiness to hold credible elections. The Sudan People's Liberation Movement in opposition, led by Machar, also raised concerns over the electoral process, describing the planned elections as a dangerous undertaking under the current circumstances.
And with that international report read by Charida Chiranga, we have come to the end of our news bulletin right here on Luntha Television. But before I go, top stories once again. Pope Leo XIV warns no doctor should ever decide the life of an embryo. Lilongwe City Council intensifies crackdown on infrastructure vandalism after loss of 600 streetlights. Mental health expert warns against stigma as xenophobia victims return home. In international news, South Sudan's long-delayed elections face fresh uncertainty. And thanks for watching our news bulletin right here on Luntha Television. And this has been Patrick Pupa. I wish you a lovely time and keep watching Luntha Television, and bye for now.